Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I don't know why I'm smiling, because I told you last week the Bundesliga, it was going to be tough over the weekend, and boy, was it tough. Bayern Munich, they just scraped through 2-1 against the informed Freiburg, but Dortmund drawing against Mainz, scandalous. Okay, all right, Leipzig got a draw away, but again, these boys cannot afford to be dropping points. With the likes of Bayern going to, listen, they're only going to get better, because I tell you what, they weren't very good either. And it's Bundesliga week 17. And I'm sorry to say, it does not look like it's going to get any easier. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. So today we've got Bundesliga, we've got La Liga, who had a weekend off, and we've got the Premier League. They're all going for it. But I've got obviously the two madmen who entertain us week in, week out, and that's Alex and Tan. I'll be going to them straight after. You press the link to go over and have a look at Tan or Alex's articles and everyone else's, all the sports that we cover on SBR. They're all over there. NFL, getting down to the business end. So go over there and have a little look at some stage this week. First of all, I'll come to you, Alex. Bundesliga, I had a feeling it was going to be tough. It was draw central.
Yeah, but Bundesliga saved me from the embarrassment from the Serie A this weekend. So I went 3-1 with the bankerin in Bundesliga. I'm very happy with the results, but be careful, because this is a midweek round, and the midweek rounds are always very, very tough to predict. You will see some approaches here. At least one of them is the value approach, in my opinion. I'm going with the value. I'm not going with... Anyway, I'm never going with my heart. But normally I would go against the team that I will say that I will be with them this time, because of just about the odds, I don't see that... okay, I will say it from now. I don't think that Schalke should be at 2.5 against Koln in this one.
No, and I love the fact, and everyone else in the chat, and by the way, you are our third guest, so please get yourself involved. I love the fact that Watch Me Now is a girl from New Orleans, so no longer am I going to be told that my audience is 100% male. Love that. Watch Me Now. Please get yourself in the chat and give us a few of your tips. If you've got a banker, throw that in there. Be nice in there. In fact, there is a couple of other girls. They know who they are, even though they think that they are men. And everyone in the chat loves the fact that there's no Bielefeld shirt, Leverkusen shirt, or Dortmund shirt, Alex.
Nothing this week. Probably I will stay off with the t-shirts because I wanna see how the waters will go this week.
I don't blame you. And it's good to see that your recuperation is going well after your operation.
It's not that easy. It's tough with the sleep, because I cannot sleep on my back, and it's really tough with the sleep. But yeah, I'm okay. Let's say that I'm okay.
I didn't want the sob story, you know what I mean? I thought I'd just pass on the...
Thank you. As always, thank you, Flash.
I'm all heart. You know that now, man. It's definitely all heart. Tan, how was your weekend?
I got injured, as you know, from off-air, so let's not get into that. But it's been a nightmare for my tips. It's been an absolute nightmare. I don't know.
We are here, win or lose. Last week you were with the cup and everything, This week it's a nightmare. It's normal. It's absolutely normal.
And today I'm with a spider on my face, practically, because I was absolutely shit, we can say. I have to say, in Serie A, which has always been my courtyard, I was completely shambled. In Bundesliga, it came back that problem of mine about picking the best five, because actually I was wrong in the top 5 picks, and I was completely right in the 4 that I had excluded from the top 5 picks. So it was the selection making that. It wasn't an easy weekend, not as an excuse, just as an explanation. Leverkusen losing at Union, Borussia Dortmund sleeping with Mainz, Leipzig struggling with Wolfsburg, Bayern too, yes, they won, but struggling with Freiburg. It's saying how Bundesliga is becoming difficult and leveled, and considering that is a midweek round, the one that is coming, that could reshuffle even more the values, and that's why you will see me, also because of what happened in last weekend, you will see me particularly squirreling in this weekend, because I think that in this midweek round, in a situation like this, the values are really, really uncertain. So I will direct myself, I will address myself, especially on the goals playing.
Let's say also a little bit that it was the weekend for Bayern Munich. They won without impressing. Again, without impressing. Tough match against
impressing. Yeah, but it's at home against Freiburg. I mean, if not now, when?
Exactly.
Yeah, but listen, Freiburg are the form side in the Bundesliga.
I'm really happy that I went with the Alex Classic in that Bayern Freiburg game. But RB Leipzig couldn't beat Wolfsburg, and we said that it would be tough matchup for Leipzig. On top of that, Bayer Leverkusen losing at Union Berlin, and Marco Reus missing that penalty kick against Mainz. I mean, that was tough for all three of them, but very, very good for Bayern Munich that they will stay there till the end of the season, no matter how unimpressive they are right now, you know?
Yeah, we love that. And Laura, you know that we're all right behind you. No problem at all. Let's keep it as our little secret. Now, what's not a secret is the records. Get them up, please, Fab. Okay, here we go. Alex. Good recovery, Alex. Good recovery. Remember, only 2.5 weeks ago, he was down 8 units. He's now near enough at parity. Tancredi at minus 686. Flash plus 7.7. I lost 0.9 units over the weekend, and I would have been adding to that if Royce had scored the penalty, because I had Dortmund and under 3.5 goals. Cost me there, but only 0.9 because of the 95th minute. Second goal for Stuttgart. Love that. Parlay, told you. Parlay, got to sort himself out, but he is at plus 120, and it means the total is plus 160. I think it's another tough midweek round.
Laura Popescu from Romania is also.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Laura Popescu.
There we go. And in no relation to Vlad Popescu, who also...
And not even to Giga Popescu, I guess.
Okay, listen, under 50% of you have pressed the thumbs up. So now watch me now. We like to see the thumb just below the screen. Can you press that and turn it blue, please? There's 52 of you watching. 24 of you have pressed the thumbs up. So that's just under.
I don't know who hit the thumb down.
Just under 50%. Let's crack straight on then, eh? Here we go. And it's tough. So get your ears open, pens and paper, and we may need a little bit of input from you in the chat. Gladbach, minus 170. Draw plus 330. Werder plus 500. I'm coming to you first, Alex. This is probably the strongest feeling I have. And I'm going with the home side. And I've gone -1 on the Asian handicap at plus 100 because I think they're too strong in midfield. They have pace on the break. And the only way that Werder are going to get anything is to sit back. They'll get carved open for me. So I've gone with Gladbach, -1 on the Asian handicap at plus 100.
Yeah, let's say that Werder won against Augsburg, but that match was very scrappy. The 2 goals came at the end of the game. It was a very bad match to watch, you know. I wouldn't recommend for anyone to watch the replay from that match. Let's not forget that also that Werder Bremen against Gladbach on the road, they have just 1 win in the last 20 matches, I think, and that win came in 2010. So since then, they are winless on the road against the Gladbach. I would say that Werder can find the back of the net against Gladbach. I think that Gladbach will open too much in this one after that 2-2 draw against Stuttgart. They desperately need the points. They are outside the top 6. This is not a Gladbach that we were expecting, you know. So I think that they will commit too much. Werder are one of the teams that you always trust them to score, no matter what. So I think that both teams to score is a really good. So I really don't fancy that -1. I think that you are going too deep into that one. So,
but do you think Gladbach win?
1.8. Yes.
Do you think Gladbach
yes.
win? Well, then it's a bet to nothing then, isn't it? Because it's -1 on the Asian handicap. I win the game. That means I've got to win by at least 1, which means I get my money back if they don't win by 2.
Oh, okay. -1 on the Asian handicap. Yes.
Thank you very much.
2.05, yeah. But 1.8 for both teams to score for me. I think it's a must take.
Okay, I think that if you fancy Gladbach to win the game, then instead of taking the -170, you go with the +105. I only got +100, so there's Flash's bookie turning me over again. Tan, Gladbach win.
As I will run the risk to repeat myself in this episode, but this is one of those games where the midweek round linked to some uncertainties of one, if not both teams, address me to the goals betting. Borussia Mönchengladbach had both team to scores outcome in 5 out of the last 5 home games. And Werder Bremen had both team to score in 11 out of the last 13 games. So actually, I know that the odds aren't great, but still this isn't minimum to take. So I'm going with that because I think that it will be hard for them after 3 days to perform exactly fitting to their capacities. Let me thank. I think that girls are popping up in the chat because Chantal London is saying this is Sturgeon again. I say Union Berlin is on top and on fire. Armando Barreto, which is not a girl, is thanking me for the breathtaking voice, always for the people. Thank you very much. And there is even who is writing us, even if he can't watch us. Bhargav Prashant saying, I can't watch, but I'm writing. And then he's thanking me for the Werder betting last week, which was one of the few that I said right. So good for you that you pick it.
Yeah, really appreciate that. And is it Chantel from London? Because you've got a first name that's French and a second name that's the capital of one of the best countries in the world. Used to be. Okay.
In Europe.
Also, Dominic, stop crying about the second goal for Stuttgart because someone on here needed that to not go 0-3. And that was moi. So listen, you'll get your money back this week, I'm sure. So what are you actually going for then in the Gladbach-Werder game?
Both team to score. Easy.
Yeah, so you and Alex are both on the same page. So I hope it's 3-1 Gladbach. And all 3 of us pick up. Moving on. Wow. Now, slow down. Leverkusen at +225, draw +285, and Dortmund at +115. Right, let's break this down because Leverkusen 3 or 4 weeks ago, before they played Bayern, absolutely flying. They were passing the ball, they were moving the ball, they were solid. They had runners off of the field. Then all of a sudden, that last-minute deflected winner from Lewandowski seems to have taken the air out of their sails. Because since then, they're being too careful. They're taking 3 and 4 touches where they were taking 1s and 2s. Tan, they're playing against a Dortmund side. They're hosting it. I can't split these two because I can't trust the personnel from Dortmund in this type of game. And do Leverkusen use this as a bounce-back situation?
Totally. Game of the round. Bayern Leverkusen are coming from a very tough moment. In last 5 games, 3 defeats and 1 draw. It is obvious that their level of focusing has dramatically dropped after losing to Bayern. We knew they couldn't last long, but we would not expect them. We would just not expect this enchantment to break suddenly. Now, this Borussia Dortmund game comes exactly to fakely repair all the things that have been broken in the last weeks. It's not like winning this, Bayer Leverkusen will be back in the race. But it is obvious that they need this, and that possibly they were also distracted in the last game because they were already thinking about this direct match. All in all, don't forget that the Bayer Leverkusen target is be back in Champions League. And considering the situation how it is, this could be a head-to-head. So all that frustration, all the things that were missing in those previous games will be directed in this. Borussia Dortmund, that are or were back on track, seem that have paid that efforts of beating Leipzig, also getting rid of Wolfsburg right after Christmas, and now all the usual problems are slowly starting to pop out against Mainz. Against Mainz it happened. They weren't clinical. They weren't consistent along the game. Now, obviously, it won't happen the same against Leverkusen, but they will face a very tough team who will very come alerted. That's why I know it is unusual, but considering the stats with Leverkusen when they play focused and considering how much Borussia Dortmund is struggling to kick on in the game, that's why I'm choosing for this an unusual under 2.5 goals.
Okay, under 2.5. I mean, listen, I think that makes a lot of sense because I think this is one of them games where neither side wants to go 1-0 down, Alex. And yes, we know that Royce missed a penalty for Dortmund against Mainz, but you were actually watching that game.
To be honest, this season is a joke of a player. I'm not saying that he's that bad entirely, but let's say that this season, and he was overrated last season, I went in that direction. I said, oh, what a great player, you know. But this season, seeing him week in and week out, Jadon Sancho, I'm referring to him, he is a joke. He cannot do anything properly. He is good, let's say, one-on-one, but he's overcomplicating. He wants the ball on his own. He wants to go with the ball directly in the net on his own. But somebody tell him that he's not Messi, you know, that he cannot take everyone out and go score on his own. And the passes, you know, left and right, left and right. I don't know. This player needs to suddenly be back to his top shape, because otherwise he will not do even 30 millions at the end of this season, you know. I don't know what is happening with him, but sincerely, I'm very disappointed in his performance. Yeah, Royce missed a penalty. Everybody can miss a penalty. A penalty are to miss, and we've seen many great players missing penalties. Yes, Mainz had many opportunities to find the back of the net. They had 2 shots on of the crossbar. I think that they could even pull off the upset against a very bad Dortmund side. On the other side, Leverkusen 0-1 on the road. Union Berlin, very scared, like you said, very scared to do more. They have the possibilities. They have the quality. It's not like they formed the team yesterday and here they are trying to do something. No, we've seen them performing and scoring goals and creating and everything. But something is wrong with them, and something is wrong from that defeat against Bayern Munich. But the 4-1 win against Eintracht Frankfurt in the DFB Pokal, I thought that that is a game changer, you know. I said, okay, they are back, you know. But no, they are not back. Against Union, they suffered big time. This is a match of the midweek in Germany, and both teams are sitting at 29 points. So basically, this is a 6-pointer, how we say it in football, right? So let's not forget that between them, I'm on the other side of Tancredi. So I'm not going with the unders at all. Let's not forget that the average in the last 7 meetings between these two teams, they scored 36 goals, so more than 5 goals per match on the average. Let's say that they scored in the last 6, at least 4 in every match in 5 of them. I think that this is an entertaining game. I think this is a must-win for both teams. I think that one of them, both of them will be desperate because they don't want to lose the gap between them and Bayern Munich there, you know. So they will try to win it. Over 3 goals on the Asian handicap is my prediction at 2.05.
It looks like a 1-1. The other thing I was going to say to you, Alex, because obviously you're quite close, is the weather. There's a cold snap, and the pitches are not pristine. So when the rains or the melted snow, they have to leave the grass long. When you leave the grass long, because you can't get on there because it's just the tractor or the mower, they'll leave holes everywhere. So the game slows down. And when the pitch is not slick and short, then teams have got a chance to get back into position. I think the draw at plus 285.
That's true, but let's not forget that we're talking about Bundesliga, we're talking about Premier League, and all the pitches are exactly snooker.
Well, there was a lot of problems. I mean, I think it was maybe 31 games in England or over the weekend, and 24 of them went under 2.5 goals.
And
there is a real lack of goals around the leagues.
Yeah.
And it can only be down to, okay, Saturday, midweek Saturday, or you've got the cup competitions getting involved. But if you have a lot of these pitches, they've got snow around the outside of the pitches because they've had to take it off. Now, when they take it off, it's so sodden underneath that they can't cut the grass. So the grass is longer. Wembley used to have this problem, but nothing to do with the weather. They just tried to grow it so it all seeded up together. And then England couldn't play because the grass is too long. The ball's not running. So the likes of Hummels, any ball that goes over the top, it's not going to run away from him. So I think that this could be an unders game. I agree. And I like the draw, but not enough to go with my shekels. Next game. Can't get involved at the weekend. Won't get involved again. It's Hertha. And how are these favourites for any game? I don't know. Plus 155, draw plus 250, and Hoffenheim at plus 200, Alex.
Yeah, I'm not even interested to watch the game, not only to bet on this game. But let's say one thing, that it will not be a goalless draw. I mean, between them in their last 20 meetings, head-to-heads, there have never been a goalless draw between these two sides. And also, another fact, maybe you are interested in an anytime goal scorer here, Kramaric scored 5 goals in his last 4 matches against Hertha. So probably, maybe you want to take a look at anytime goal scorer Andrej Kramaric in this Hertha versus Hoffenheim.
Just a quick yes or no, do both teams score in this game, Alex?
Probably both teams to score, yes. Probably both teams to score. But I don't trust Hertha, I don't trust Hoffenheim, so I'm staying away. But for sure, not a goalless draw. So if you want to play anything else, what you want, but not a goalless draw.
Okay, just to go back, and I will be really quick. Sammy has come up with a plus 950 of both teams to score in both halves, Leverkusen versus Dortmund. Listen, it's going to be a fun game, and if you haven't got a really big sway or big view on the game, then plus 950, just to hope that you see goals, might be the way to go. Hertha and Hoffenheim, neither of them are our friends, so are we leaving the game alone?
No, as you know, I always said since the very beginning, the very first show, I said there will not, there will not ever be a single game I will pass on. I will always give you a prediction in every game. It won't be maybe a top prediction, but there will never be a game I will pass on.
Did you say maybe, not a top?
Yeah, I said maybe.
Maybe. I can guarantee it's not a maybe.
No, depends. I can tell you one thing. So I'm doing this show with you since end of June. So it's July, August, September, October, November, December, January, 7 months. 7 months. This Hertha Hoffenheim has been the longest game it took me to think about a bet. I really couldn't see the angle on which to take it.
We are happy that you're doing your homework.
I fell asleep on my homework. Not only I did my homework. That's why you got only in the early morning the prediction, the flash. So forget about taking the final outcome. Too unpredictable, both of them. The midweek fixture factor coming in. It really can go anywhere it is. It's also unpredictable if it will be full of goals or only few goals. But the only angle I can find is that for both Hertha and Hoffenheim, when Hertha play at home and when Hoffenheim play away, always their level of focusing, their level of attention is dropping in the second half. And that is opening the games even when they are very boring. 3 times out of last 4 home Hertha games in the second half were scored over 1.5 goals. Same it happened in last 3 away games of Hoffenheim, which is completely different from what they two are having in different conditions. That's why over 1.5 goals in the second half. It took me really a lot to get to this.
And is it in your top 5?
I don't even remember that because I fell asleep on that.
No, I can help you out there.
No, it's not in
all of that. It's a pass from 10.
It's not a pass. It's never.
No. Obviously, you're giving your prediction, but when we see the picks at the end,
True,
there'll be no sign of Hertha versus Hoffenheim.
But consider that there are many people that are anyway taking all the teams.
Oh no, I get that. I appreciate your content.
I give you an example.
I appreciate all your hard work, but in future, don't bother.
Someone in the chat, Gergo Kostik, is saying
about the friend.
No. He's saying I had like 50 different bets and turned around couple of €100. Final balance plus 12 euros. Gergo, I couldn't handle 50 different girls. You have 50 different bets. Never mind. I would go crazy. But anyway, anybody is in his own environment.
What is this comparison? Okay, you lost me here for
the comparison is that actually that would be something like pleasant to do. I would never get into something like that. I would get crazy with 50 different bets. But see, anyway, people are interested even over the top 5 picks. That's why.
Oh, I understand that.
That's why I fell asleep on the homework. I fell asleep with the phone on this.
Yeah, it's great. Now, listen, this is another weird game. I'm going to come to you first hand because it's Mainz at plus 300, draw plus 285, and Wolfsburg minus 110. Now, Wolfsburg, on the face of it, you're going to be thinking at minus 110, that's got to be a gift. But Mainz scored 2 against Bayern away. Then they go and play Dortmund, and it's like, wow, hang on a minute. They should have won the game. They should have and could have won the game. Now, I know that should have, could have, would have, don't get the job done. But it's another tricky game, this. Or do we just not complicate it and just take Wolfsburg?
Yes, sir.
The better side?
No, I go with both teams to score. There is not enough time to prepare this game. There is not enough time for both of them to prepare this game. And Mainz, really, they should... It should take probably more to them than to Wolfsburg, surely, to them than to Wolfsburg to prepare this. But they will just go out and play, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't want to be too simplistic. But also, after blowing against Leipzig for Wolfsburg, there will be a drop in attention. So it will be very little tactical, in my opinion. That's why both teams to score, which is not great odds, but at least is minimum decent. But that's why I go with that.
Okay, both teams to score, Mainz versus Wolfsburg. Do we complicate this, Alex?
No, we will not complicate it, and we will go with the Wolfsburg win here. I think that it's time for Wolfsburg to bounce back and to return to winning ways after 3 winless matches. I like them a lot against Leipzig. They did a good match also against Union Berlin. Let's say that Union are one of the good sides this season. So Mainz... yes, let's say that they looked better against Dortmund, you know. They had their chances. They parked the bus. They went on the break. They could have pulled off the upset there, but I still think that Wolfsburg have too much for them. This is another type of game than the Dortmund game, right? So let's scrap that from the mind of the betting perspective. Mainz against Dortmund was a small team playing against one of the good teams, one of the top teams, right? they have that approach, sitting back. I think that the possession was 70-30 there, which is very normal. We can say that also they were a little bit lucky to take to go home with that draw, but also unlucky not to win that game because they had their opportunities. But the Dortmund's defense looked very bad. I mean, on that specific day, if your name was Leverkusen or Bayern Munich, the scoreline was dramatic for Dortmund. So it's normal what we've seen with Mainz on that match. On the other side, Wolfsburg looked, I said to you, they looked pretty good against RB Leipzig, and I think that it's time for them to return to winning ways at 1.9 against a very, very poor Mainz side overall.
Yeah, I've got to agree. This was probably the second one. If I was going to be picking, listen, I haven't gone for many this week because I just see it being a complete minefield. I think there's a few draws. I think there's a few unders.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget that Weghorst, that is Wolfsburg top scorer, managed to score his 11th goal against RB Leipzig. So in 16 matches, he scored 11 goals. Yeah, and he managed the same amount of goals in 22 matches last term. So I think that anytime goal scorer for Weghorst should pay here.
Okay, and there's a new name in the chat I've not seen. That's Kung Fu Zong. Kung Fu Zong, are you new? And if you are new,
no,
have you
subscribed? It's not new.
It's not new, just not been typing, eh? I hope your fingers are a lot better now.
He's a very old friend. I think that he's with us for the last 6 years. He never appeared in the past year. But
that's brilliant, though. I love that. So he's making his debut in the chat as well. So we love that. Get yourself typing because listen, we're all chefs here, and your tips, your bankers, they're part of the recipe for us to come up with a nice winning cake, if you like. Next game. I've got to come to you again, Tan, first, because it's Schalke. The mighty Schalke now, by the way, because they're scoring at least, and it's plus 155. Draw plus 225, and Koln at plus 200.
Yeah,
but ever you was going to go with Schalke, it's this week.
It's not like things have drastically changed. Yes, they have improved slowly they are, but things are still a bit different. There is one thing that anyway it's happening normally to them when they are at home, at least if we take the Hoffenheim game off. But anyway, when they are at home, they always try to be disciplined at the beginning. Then things just slip away. 2 in the last 3 home games they had draw at the halftime. Actually, that third, they were up front in the halftime. So their approach, at least, is committed. Koln, actually, are always pretty precocious when they come into the game. 3 of the last 4 Koln games were draw at the halftime. They always try to be disciplined, just that they are very limited, so all their limits then are stressed out. So unless they both go crazy, which can be considering it's a midweek round, but if it goes as it promises, I say draw at the halftime.
Draw at the half-time. Maybe, is that going to be a 0-0 or 1-1, Alex?
At the halftime, maybe 0-0, probably. Yeah, if that bet will be a winner, probably 0-0 at halftime. But I'm going with Schalke
here, though.
I'm going with Schalke in this one. It's probably, call me crazy or not crazy, but looking at Koln in the last matches, so there is a downtrend for Koln and is an uptrend for Schalke.
Now everybody wants to go with Schalke. Eh?
Oh, hello.
Too easy now. Eh?
Take it
Too
easy
now. Eh? You say if Schalke said yes to Tancredi, maybe they will say yes to me as well. Too easy now. Eh? I know you.
So let's be honest. Against Eintracht Frankfurt, it was the Jovic thing.
Welcome
that
back, by the way. Nice. We like
Welcome
Jovic.
back, by the way, and we'll talk about him later. But minus that Jovic 2 goals, they were about to return home with 1 point. Again, your American Hope delivered.
Hoppe.
He scored exactly. So I really think that the value right now at home against a Köln side that failed to find the back of the net in their last 5 domestic matches, so 5 matches without a goal from Köln, I think that the value is on Schalke. So at 2.55, I'm going with that.
Yeah, I think I got you a little bit bigger than that, to be honest. But yeah, they're weak, Kern. They're weak. They're disjointed. Now let's move on, because this next game, I've got real concerns, because Augsburg at plus 1,200. I've not got concerns in this game, but I've got concerns about Bayern. Draw plus 600 and Bayern at minus 400. Bayern needs someone. They need a midfield general, because the games and the reason why all these other teams are having chances. Listen, Freiburg could have got maybe 2, 3, 4 goals at the weekend, and that was in Munich. Now, the problem I have is there's no one controlling the game, so it's going from one end to the other, one end to the other. And it's almost like Bayern, they've got used to scoring every time they go forward, so they just keep going forward. They're like a greedy kid in a cake shop. They just want to keep eating. When just take one, sit back, eat it, enjoy it, relax, and then when you're hungry, go and get another. No, Bayern are like, rah, 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 rah. No, cannot do that. You've got to try and control the game, and they're not controlling it in midfield, Alex.
You know that there is very, very hard to find value in these Bayern games, but the value has been on both teams to score in their last matches. It's a very, very easy. It seems that it's very easy for all the teams to find the back of the net against Bayern. I mean, why Augsburg wouldn't find the net against Bayern? 1.75. I think that there is a good set of odds for both teams to score. Other than that, no touch on this game, and don't give me Bayern for the next 1 month, 1.5 months.
No, exactly. Well, it's funny, because when the Champions League starts back, hopefully we're going to see the real Bayern, Tan.
Probably, but there is one thing to say. I tried to whisper at the beginning of the season. It's not only about how long was the season of Bayern before the new started, and that for sure they couldn't last 1 long year. But considering how good Thiago Alcantara played last season, there was no way that taking him off from Bayern would not have an impact. For the way Bayern, even if Lewandowski is the most important player at Bayern, but for the way Bayern plays, Thiago Alcantara was the key player.
Thiago, to his friends.
Yes, Thiago. But there is no way. You know that he was born not far from where I was born. He was born next to Lecce in southern Italy, because his father, Mazzigno, former world champion, was playing in Lecce. Anyway, so after Bayern knows by memory how to play together. But then the season is kicking in, and the issues start to get up, and the rivals are improving, are changing anyway. So that is happening also to Bayern. Anyway, the fact that for how much they are struggling, they are increasing their advantage on the second, it could have 2 consequences. Whether to soften them and relax them, or to make them even more merciless and hungry. We will see in the next week what is happening. I choose for this time to go with the merciless and hungry option against Augsburg, that you can never totally rely on them, because when you think like finally they are improving, then they disappoint you. So, as Alex said, it's very hard to find value in Bayern games, because they always give these stupid low odds on Bayern because there is too much gap. But then you see you watch the game, and there is never such a difference. But I will try for this time. I try to believe in the merciless anger of Bayern, and I go with Bayern to win with a goal handicap. So to win at least with 2 goals advantage.
Okay, because I actually put you down for -2. So win by 2 goal advantage because -1 was not even close to being a squirrel price. Who?
-1.5, he's saying, on the Asian handicap.
Yeah, exactly. -2, I got him anyway, because that's a push.
I have to... okay, no, sorry, go on.
No worries, I just thought you'd lost your hat as well, by the way.
Oh my God, again! That's impossible! That's really impossible.
By the way, that reminds me, I've got to get a couple of garden gnomes on the way home. Well done, Tan. You reminded me. Thank you very much. Alex, Bayern, Augsburg. Are we going to go with Bayern?
No, just both teams to score at 1.75. That's
excellent. Okay, now this is a game where normally you'd expect me to just jump on the visitors. But for some reason, I'm really, really nervous. And by the way, the price is growing on the visitors. It's Bielefeld at +350, draw +300, and Stuttgart at -125. And I do believe you can get closer to -110, -115 there, Alex.
-110 exactly. It's
crazy.
For
it was -125 on Friday night. And please excuse me because I had to do all these graphics, or I had to send the graphics over to Zook on Friday night because otherwise he would have been up at 3 o'clock this morning. I did the records last night after they concluded the games, but I took these prices and Stuttgart were -125 on Friday. I saw nothing over the weekend to say that they shouldn't be still -125. And here we are Monday morning, Monday afternoon, and you can get -110, Alex.
Yeah, crazy and very, very unlucky for Stuttgart not to beat Gladbach.
15 shots on goal and finished the game like an absolute power train.
Wow, it was very, very impressive. It looks like the determination and the team spirit is something else to them and to Union Berlin. I give to these 2 clubs a lot of respect for Stuttgart, and at -110 against Armenia, an Armenia side that let's give it to them. They are organized, but they lack an attacking firepower there. It's very tough for them to find the back of the net, and when the machine of goals Stuttgart with their offensive power will move in this midweek. After that good result with the Gladbach, I think that -110, 1.9, let's say in European odds, is a must take in my opinion.
Yeah, I tell you what, these teams, and this is going to sound totally mad, but obviously on this show that will fit right in. They remind me of Michael Johnson, like the 400-meter runner. They're just so strong at the beginning, the middle, and the end. They finish their race off, and they keep going, and they got their reward. Remember, 15 shots on goal against tough opposition at the weekend. Do we go? I've left the game alone at -110 if it gets closer to -100, or it's going to be an in-play, because I know at Bielefeld, they will frustrate, they will sit back, and they're just the type of side that might get something out of the game, Tam, but Stuttgart getting close to even money, then you might have to press the button.
Absolutely. You just named one of my idols of my childhood, of my teenager, which actually I met at the Olympics in 2016 in Rio. I have a picture.
Atlanta.
No, Atlanta, but I met him in Rio de Janeiro at the Olympics in 2016. I have a picture with him, if only the fact that the photographer, the friend who was
missed you out.
He didn't miss you out.
You had a picture with him, but
he
the
was
photographer
drunk.
only got
But
Michael
he was
Johnson.
drunk, so
we
the
don't know if
picture
you were there really or not.
He was drunk, so the picture is very unfocused. You understand it's me and Michael Johnson, but it's the quality is bad. Exactly.
Not to be Michael Jackson. Be careful not to be Michael Jackson.
No, that's a bit unlikely. But exactly low quality as this Armenia Bielefeld is. No, seriously, the -125 on Stuttgart is a grab and steal, totally. The moment you are leaving all your common girlfriend Stuttgart and you're starting to get together with Schalke.
No, 8 out of 10 games, Tan. 8 out of 10 games, they've scored 2 goals.
I jumped in and I tried to get, and so if you are leaving Stuttgart behind, the boyfriend of Stuttgart, getting it, they're playing much better than Bielefeld. As you mentioned, all those shots on goal. So definitely they will not go to Bielefeld to play satisfied of what they've done. And I believe that motivation in the midweek round is the main thing. There is no time to prepare it tactically, to prepare it athletically. It's all about mental approach. So Stuttgart to win. Let me also thank Shlomi Oz, who is saying two nice things that I can't repeat because then you will say that I'm too much self-ego.
But and also, say them all. We love them. We know that you are an ego guy, but say them.
He's saying I am the king and I love the way I take my bets, but don't shout it.
And also, Sirdel
is saying he's cracking me up and I improve my ratings, but don't say it.
Just say that. Just I wanted to thank them.
Okay, let's move on. Joshy said, who did Flash play for? I played in the top flight of English football for Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday and Southampton. And then I was promoted from the other two divisions.
Antonio Scardino is saying the magic word still hasn't been pronounced in this show. The magic word of Alex, Mangituka.
It's not Mangituka, it's Vamangituka.
Vamangituka has not been pronounced. Why not yet?
Okay.
No, I was about to pronounce him because he's playing with Stuttgart, so probably...
Exactly. Well, you didn't, so let's move on. I still think that Freiburg are the top side along with Union and Stuttgart at the moment, and Freiburg are at plus 175, which is absolutely massive. Draw, plus 250. But you got Frankfurt at minus 105. Now, Tan, Frankfurt, home or away, they go and they score goals, but they also concede. The thing is with Frankfurt, they're like a typical German, efficient, get the job done. Even if it's 3-3, 2-4, 3-2, then there's no nil-nils involved. So is this an Alex classic?
I don't know. It could be. I'm more oriented to over 1.5 in the second half, or the 1.5 goals in the second half as well, because it is what is almost happening in every Eintracht game. When you say efficient and German, I think about boring, but actually they are they are rarely boring, Eintracht. And Freiburg, we saw that they are trying to improve. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. But I think that in a game against Eintracht, there could be space for football, for creating and for chances. It is happening often with Eintracht, so over 1.5 goals in the second half.
Okay, Bobby wants the green light. Send it, Bobby. I told you no green light the other day. I saved you your money. If only you would listen. Alex.
And obviously, Jovic back at Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah, I mean, that's massive. That is absolutely massive. But I saw Freiburg the other day that they actually were growing in confidence, thinking, hang on a minute, we're 5 minutes to go. We're still in this game. And I tell you what, a couple cleared off the line, a couple of great saves, and really good opportunities for them to get something in Munich, Alex.
Yeah, first of all, I don't know if you answered to Joshi.
I did. I said all about my club.
For Sheffield United, right? You played for, right?
Sorry?
I'm joking. The Alex Classic all the way. Yes, I didn't give you yesterday this tip, but I will make it official at 1.9. Jovic came, obviously. Freiburg are looking great. That combo duo, Kostic-Jovic, Kostic with the assist, Jovic with the goal. Let's not forget that he entered in the second half. He scored twice, and he was the man of the round in Bundesliga on the Bundesliga website. So I really like this to be an entertaining game. And I think that the draw with goals at 2-2 draw, this is why I think that it will be a very nice game. So I'm locking in the Alex Classic at 1.9 as an official bet, but have a small unit size on a draw with goals.
Yeah, like a 3-3. Because listen, Frankfurt love a 3-3.
Yeah, they love it. Maybe a 2-2 type of game.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the last game. Leipzig, minus 187. Draw plus 350. Union plus 625. I'm telling you now, even though I've not pressed the button, so my words are not as heavy as they normally would be. Union double chance or Union draw no bet is massive, because if there's ever a side that don't want to be sucked in, it's Leipzig. And if there's ever a side that want to suck you in, it's Union, Alex.
+1 at 2.1, Union Berlin. So even if they lose by 1 goal, it's a void, you know. So +1 on the Asian handicap at 2.1. This is not my bet, but I think that the value is there. I think that Union will extend their beautiful run of form against RB Leipzig. I think that they will score against RB Leipzig, despite RB Leipzig to be one of the top defensive sides in Bundesliga. Also, Union are the same thing. So I think that the both team to score is overpriced at 1.82. I can easily see both teams scoring in this one.
Okay, 23 more thumbs up, please, gentlemen. And obviously, ladies now, I know you know me, I'm 100% a ladies' man. So I love the fact, in fact, I'd love to get that to turn a different colour to blue when the lady presses it. Tan, not so much a ladies' man. Union or Leipzig?
I know it's very juicy, the odds on Union, and actually, these are sirens calling goalistas, like saying, come on, get this double chance out for you. Come on, get this double chance. Oh, this draw no bad for you. But Leipzig were too unbelievably inconsistent lately to keep it real in that way. They only won 1 of the last 4 games.
And weird or not, it was against Stuttgart.
Yeah, in fact, it wasn't easy because they had Stuttgart, they had Borussia Dortmund, they played away at Wolfsburg, which can be tricky. But anyway, all in all, in a normal situation, they should have won in Wolfsburg. Union, that are having a fantastic run, have just beaten Bayern Leverkusen within 3 days, 4 days to take Bayern Leverkusen and then going at Leipzig and playing away. It's very intense to play at Leipzig, very intense. And it will be even more because Leipzig see that finally, because see, what happened before was that they were losing, they were going, but they were really not losing contact from Bayern because Bayern too was having stop and go. Now they lost touch from the top spot. They are -4. So it's a bit different. There is no more time to waste. So that's why, as Leipzig to win are too little, I think they will be very strongly focused. So I go with Leipzig to win, to be ahead, half-time and full-time.
Wow, can't go near that, but obviously I will cheer you on there, Tan. Okay, listen, I need a 2-team parlay.
Sorry, Flash. We are talking for the last 2-3 weeks. If Nagelsmann will not change the attacking trio and he will still play with Forsberg, Olmo, Haidara, or Paulsen, or not a real striker, I don't think that we will see a lot of changes in their style of play. One-on-one, I think that they are the better side. But right now, it's very, very tough to take.
Union +1 at +110. So even if they get beat by, say, 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, you're going to get your money back. Listen, I cannot go near the game, but it will be a good game to watch. I need a 2-team parlay, so get your suggestions in there. See, we've got 18 more thumbs up to get to 124 of you watching. It's a lot more like it. Let's have a look at these picks. I may add one. I know that Alex has. Let's have a look, please, Fab. Oh, look at mine over there. We'll get to that in a minute. So Alex's picks: Wolfsburg -110, Schalke at +145. I've actually got you +155 there. Stuttgart -120. Which is now -110, Alex, jumping into early like myself. And Leipzig, both teams to score at -123. Tancredi's picks. Leverkusen, under 2.5 goals in the game at +130. Good value that. Bayern -2 on the Asian handicap at -105. Gladbach, both teams to score, -133. Leipzig, half-time, full-time, +125, and Stuttgart at -120. The only one I could really see 100% in my mind was Gladbach, -1 on the Asian handicap at +100. And go back to Alex, he's actually going to make it official. It's Freiburg versus Frankfurt, the Alex Classic at -110. And I'm going to do the same. So there will be another unit for me on the Freiburg Frankfurt Alex Classic at -110. Now, gentlemen, 2-team parlay. And by the way, Bobby, I didn't see what you put in there, so I don't know what I'm giving a green light to. So you've got about 2 minutes now. Put it in there. Otherwise, there's no green light. Let's go back to the winning formation. You go first, please, Tan.
I go with both teams to score Gladbach Werder, the one you approved. But I have to say, in the top 5 picks, you have changed into 2 goals handicap. But Bayern to win with 1 goal handicap was 1.55. So
yeah, exactly. 1.65. But then I got you a bet to nothing, you know, where if you win by 2, you don't lose anything.
I have the other bets that are higher. So that was good enough to take. You have to take it everything, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you're a little squirrel. I'm trying to feed you up.
Myself?
I'm trying to feed you up.
Gave only 1 unit. Myself and Squirrel.
Yeah, it'd probably be a winning one, though.
In the most difficult week, you are not joining the fight.
No, I'm batting down the hatches. I'm like that.
You stay with the umbrella in the stands. You are like McLaren.
If it's raining, I'm not going to go out in me budgie smugglers. Okay, Alex, what you got for me?
Leverkusen Dortmund over 2.5.
Over 2.5. It goes against your teammate there. Over 2.5. I don't know if we can have that, though, Alex, because.
But he didn't choose that for the.
He went under 2.5 in the game.
And I went over 3. What?
But so you're at loggerheads, and then you want us to be more loggerheads with a parlay.
If it's snowing at me, that means that it has to snow also at him? No.
So what? You're not going to budge? You're going to be stubborn and like put your heels in like an old mule?
Over 2.5. You heard me good.
Okay. I think it's a 1-1 draw, but I'm going to go with Alex. I'm going to give him his own way because he's been poorly. But okay, I'm going to give him some jelly and ice cream. But okay, now if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. 88 of you the thumbs up. Was it not 88 a little while ago?
Yes.
Okay. Also, if you press the bell, that means we'll notify you. You'll never miss any content again. And by the way, love seeing Laura in there. Watch me now. Not seen the other female, rude boy. Not seen that one. I haven't seen the other. A Rampage as well. That's 4 women I would have been seeing in the chat today. Also, press the link in the description. That'll take you over to the articles read by Tan or Alex or maybe Martin. We've got coming up La Liga in a couple of hours. We've got Roman. Yes, Ewan and Paco will be back very soon. We've got another La Liga at the end of the week. And then Martin and Matt come up with their tin hats on from the Premier League. There'll be no records for the Premier League because we've got a game tonight. But after that, they will be back on Thursday. So good luck, everyone. It's Gladbach Werder, both teams to score. And the parlay second leg is over 2.5 goals, Leverkusen and Dortmund. Thanks, Tan. Thanks, Alex. We'll see you both, I think, bright and early on Wednesday this week with Sierra. Everyone in the chat, thanks for everything you do. Great contributions. And we're nearly there, 92. Please press the thumbs up on the way out. And remember also, you can leave a comment underneath if you want, and we can have a bit of banter, a bit of chat. And I'll see you all soon. You take care.
Ciao, ciao.